This is Glenn Rice with Clearview Sewer Cams. We're located at 2307 Griffin Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90031. We're performing a video waste and sewer line inspection through a 3-inch ABS cleanout located on the right-hand side of the house, just next to the crawl space. And this is our 3-inch ABS cleanout here. This is our crawl space area here, and this goes around towards the front of the property, and this goes towards the rear of the property here. And there is 2 dwellings on this property, and again, this is 2307 Griffin. So we went ahead and zeroed out our camera monitor here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to push in and attempt to push all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. So again, we're just going to continue to push out. It is all black ABS waste line, and it does appear that we are transitioning to what appears to be cast iron waste line here, as you can see. So we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. Again, the cast iron waste line does appear to have quite a bit of buildup and scaling throughout. You can see here, the line is kind of dry, no water's been run in a while, and it does appear that we are transitioning to what appears to be vitreous clay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. We're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it is on the left-hand side of the house next to the fireplace, and we did mark it with an orange flag at 1 foot 5 inches deep. And again, this is our transition from cast iron waste line to what appears to be vitreous clay. And as we continue to push out, you can see that we do have a fairly large gap in this area here, from about the 3 o'clock area all the way around to about the 9 o'clock area. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. We're making a little bit of a turn. And again, it does appear that we do have a fairly large gap in this area as well. What we're going to do is we're going to push out. We're going to pause here for a moment. We're just going to see if we're running alongside of the house. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, as I mentioned, it does appear that we do have another gap in this joint as well, and very difficult to tell what these pieces here are, if those are pieces of vitreous clay or if that's just some debris that was left over. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to push out. A little bit of an offset in that joint there at the top from about the 9 o'clock to the 12 o'clock area. And again, nothing major. And that joint appeared to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And again, a little bit of an offset in this joint here. As you can see, from about the 11 o'clock area all the way around to about the 4 o'clock area. Again, we're just going to continue to push out. And you can see here we do have a fairly large break in this area. So we're going to pause here for a moment and locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and it's just to the right of the front door of 2301 Griffin. So the sewer appears to transition over into the next lot over, and both of these houses are pretty much on the same large lot, and it just transitions over towards the front of that house at 2301 Griffin Avenue. So again, what we're going to do is we did mark this area with an orange flag in the plant area, and it looks like we have a little friend. I'll pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, it did appear that we did have a little friend in our sewer here. And as we continue to push out, it does appear that this is possibly our tie-in from our house next door. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause here for a moment. And as we paused here for a moment, we did notice that the water is running, and this water here is running from the 2301 Griffin Avenue house. And again, we're going to pause here and we're going to locate this area. Okay, we went ahead and located this area, and again, this is on the right-hand side of the front door to the house at 2301 Griffin. And again, we did mark this in the grass at 1 foot 7 inches deep. So again, as you can see here, this is our tie-in, and we're just going to go ahead and continue to push out. And a little bit of root intrusions in that joint there, and continue to push out. And again, a little more root intrusion in that joint there, right around the 9 o'clock area. So what we'll do is we'll just continue to push out, and again, attempt to get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. And a little bit of root intrusion in that joint there, but again, nothing major. Again, a little bit of root intrusion in that joint. Continue to push out. And again, more root intrusion in that joint right around the 3 o'clock area. And again, a little bit of root intrusion in that joint. It does appear that we got a little bit of a gap there right around the 3 o'clock area. We're going to go ahead and continue to push out. And again, just a little bit of root intrusion. A little bit of build up in those joints. And what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to push out. And what we'll do is we'll pull back, and this way we can get all the way out into our city sewer tie-in, and then from there we can pull back and take a good look as we pull back. This way we can utilize a little bit possibly of the water and get ourselves all the way out into our city sewer tie-in. Drop in right there. It does appear that we're dropping down into our city sewer tie-in here. I'm going to pause here for a moment. So again, it does appear that we did drop down into our city sewer tie-in here. As you can see, the water rushing by. And what we'll do is we'll pull back. We're going to pull back to this area here, and this is our city sewer tie-in here. And so now we're just dangling down into our city sewer tie-in. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back, and this is the sewer here ties into the middle of Griffin Street. So we are tied in just in the middle in Griffin Street. And this is our chimney area here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, that joint appears to be in fair condition. What we'll do is we'll pull back, take a good look at the joints on the way back. That joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. A little bit of an offset in that joint there from about the 6 o'clock going up to about the 12 o'clock area. But again, nothing major. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, a little bit of an offset in that joint as well from over the 6 o'clock maybe up to around about the 9 o'clock area. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And again, a little bit of an offset in that joint there, but again, nothing major. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. A little bit of an offset there as well at the top from about the 10 o'clock area around to about the 5 o'clock area. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. A little bit of roots in those joints, that joint there, but nothing major. Continue to pull back. And again, a little bit of an offset in that joint there. It does appear very hard to tell if that's in the casting or if that's a crack. But it does appear to be. It does appear to be a crack there from about the 6 o'clock going up to about the 9 o'clock area. Okay, again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And that joint appears to be in fair condition. And this joint here, we do have a fairly, it does appear that we have a little bit of an offset here from about the 3 o'clock area all the way around to about the 9 o'clock area. It does appear that we're just dropping down here in this area, as you can see. We did have a little bit of the pipe shifted a little bit in that area. So again, we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Okay, we're going to continue to pull back. And again, a little bit of an offset in this joint as well. As you can see, we are dropping down again in this area here from about the 2 o'clock area all the way around to about the 10 o'clock area. You can see that we do drop down. See there. And so we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And this area here is just out towards the sidewalk area in front of the house. And again, it is shifted in a downward motion, so water and everything still continue to passing through. So again, we do have some root intrusion in that joint there. And it does appear that we do have a break at about the 10 o'clock area, going all the way around to about the 3 o'clock area. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. Getting a little bit of root intrusion in that area, right around the 9 o'clock area there. We're going to continue to pull back. And that joint was in fair condition. And that joint's in fair condition. And again, some of these joints have a little bit of root intrusion, but nothing major. We did identify a few cracks in the vitreous clay, and that was running out towards the middle of the street. Continue to pull back. And again, a little bit of root intrusion in that joint there. And again, all these joints here we did see on the way out, and these joints here just have a little bit of root intrusion in them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to pull back slowly. Again, as we pull back, you can see there right around the 12 o'clock area all the way down to about the 3 o'clock area. It does appear that we do have a fairly large crack in that area as well. And again, we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, again, this area here is located in the grass, at the front of the house in the grass at 2301 Griffin. And again, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, like as I mentioned, we do have a little bit of root intrusion in these joints. We'll make a little bit of a turn, and that's our tie-in there. We did mark this area as well in front of the house. We did mark that area, and so we're just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as we pull back to our cast iron waistline. Make a little bit of a turn, and in this area here we transition back into our cast iron waistline. So we're going to pause here for a moment. Okay, we're going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And again, we are transitioning back into our cast iron waistline. And again, this cast iron waistline is located under 2307 Griffin Street. And the cast iron waistline does have quite a bit of buildup and scaling. They did mention that they are going to be replacing this waistline and excavating and replacing some of the sewer line up at the front of the property. So we did locate a few areas up at the front of the property for them. And just going to go ahead and continue to pull back. And as we pull back, we transition into black ABS sewer pipe. And all the black ABS sewer pipe all appears to be brand new. This house is being under construction. So we're just going to continue to pull back. And that will conclude our video waste and sewer line inspection.